Hi, this is Annie with Wildflower and Stitch. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do the invisible join on a granny square. So basically how to close and fasten off this last round of the granny square so that it doesn't create a knot here in the spot where we join it, but rather a seamless invisible join. So the last thing that I have done here on this granny square, this is my lavender granny square. The last thing I've done here is to create my last stitch, which is a double crochet. So this is a traditional granny square with granny stitches all around. And my last stitch here is a double crochet stitch. At this point, once I have completed that last stitch, I'll go ahead and cut my yarn. You want to leave a good few inches there for weaving in. We cut the yarn, and then I will just pull my hook off straight up like this. There it is. And now I want to join it to the other side here where I first started the granny square. And when we first started this round, I mean. And what I've actually done here when I started this last round, these are all double crochets except the first one, which is a chain. And the standard way of chaining for a double crochet, when we start a round, we would chain 3 stitches. That counts as our first double crochet. Here I have actually only chained 2. Now this is completely a personal preference, but the reason I chain 2 here when I do the invisible join is that I find that if I chain 3 with the invisible join, the chain of 3 is just a little too long compared to the other stitches. But that's completely a personal preference, just mentioning it in case you prefer this way too, or if you'd rather chain 3 there for that first stitch. Okay, so what I did here, I cut this yarn and now I'm ready to join this. And I'm actually going to turn my work around. This is the back side. And I'm going to insert my hook through these 2 loops. So if I look on the front side, these 2 loops are the ones that are above this middle stitch here. If I go to this next one, these would be above this last stitch of the cluster. So I go under the 2 loops, both loops that are over this middle stitch. So if I take my hook away, you can see it a little better. These 2 loops are over the middle stitch. So I insert my hook under both of these loops, like so. I turn my work around again, it's a little bit easier. And then I pull this yarn end through both of those loops, under both of the loops, like so. Then I will jump to the other side, and now this is the last cluster that I made for this granny square. And I insert my hook through this very last stitch of this round, but this time only through the back loop. So each stitch here on top has the back loop and the front loop. Front loop is on the front side, back loop on the back side. I insert my hook only through the back loop. And I'm going to turn my work around again. It's a little bit easier. And I just pull my yarn through that back loop, like so. And that's it. Now if I look at this edge here, these 2, I pulled the yarn through twice, through 2 different loops, and that created as if this was an actual stitch here on the outside. Looks completely seamless. Then I need to weave in this end, and now with this yarn end, since there's no knot or anything there, we just pulled the yarn through those 2 stitches. I do like to make some kind of a knot here. Again, personal preference, but I do like to find a loop that's very close to the spot where this yarn end comes from. And I just pull the yarn through there. And then I pull it through this loop that I made. And pull this knot tight. So this is completely a personal preference. I just feel that it is more secure when there is some kind of a knot. Because with the invisible join, I mean, the idea is that there's no knot on the outside edge. So now when I make the knot on the back side, you still cannot see on the front side or here on the outside edge. So I make that knot, and then I would weave in this yarn end as I normally do. But here, again, to make this extra secure, I do like to weave in into multiple different directions. So change directions a couple of times to make sure that the yarn end is all secured. But that's it for the invisible join. I do hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave me a comment. You can also like this video, subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see tutorials in the future, and share this with a crochet friend who also might find it helpful. Thank you so much for watching the tutorial, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!